Okay, so we're going to be in chess.com and we're just going to be looking at this thing where I just completely destroyed this guy, made him resign. So he goes, you can really see where it's going. He checks me, I block, force him out. Wait, we can just I go pawn d4. He goes pawn e6. I go e4 pawn. He goes knight c6. He moves his knight out and put my bishop in at e3. He puts his bishop in at b4 or b4. I force him out by putting pawn c3. He goes a5 bishop. I I make my pawn chain at f3. He goes g6, and that's not the best move that he could have made, but then I put my pawn chain up more, so I go g4. He puts his knight f6, which isn't the best move in my opinion. Then I go h4 on my pawn. He forces his pawn down to h5. Make sure I can't move that pawn. I take. He takes with knight. I move my pawn up. He puts his pawn down. Move my rook up. And then he didn't go for bishop, which was a really good move because bishop would have been devastating if he took that. Good move on his side, not mine. But he took pawn. He instead of going f1, he went e4. Takes the free pawn. Then I retaliate with threatening his bishop, which forces his bishop right here. He doesn't move his bishop. I take the bishop. He moves his rook down. I fumble the free. Wait, no, it wasn't free at the time. But it was free at one point. Oh my gosh, I really fumbled though. I put knight a3. He moves it down. I could have gotten the free rook, but no, I didn't take that. I go knight 3 or knight b knight from a3 to b5. He takes my pawn. I put my knight here. Then I realized I could have taken. If I could have taken, I could have taken. But he didn't do anything. That's why after he moves his pawn down, his knight to g3. I move my knight to g2, thinking he won't see this threat. Then I realize he did see the threat, so I have to retaliate with this. He's protecting his rook, so I move my bishop to f2 while he moves his pawn up to f5. Then this is where this is where it all goes downhill for him. He moves his knight back up to e4. Okay. Then I annihilate his rook and check him, and he moves his knight to the only possible move. Only. Then I take his knight, and he obviously takes. He puts his pawn from d5 to e4. Then I do check him with h7 with queen. He puts his queen there. I take his pawn with my rook. He takes my queen. I take his queen. He's in check. He moves his check back. He moves his king back to where I wanted him. And I fork him, and he resigns. That was an insane game. And he fumbled that by moving his knight up, his king up there. If he moved his king right here instead of right, and I would have gone here, Oh wait, ready? If he moved here, and I went here, he could took, or he couldn't even have took that. But he could have saved his rook. And that game would have gone downhill because he could have gone here. Wait, what? Oh, I would have gone here. He probably would have gone here. No, I wouldn't even gone there. I would have moved my knight out. Put it back here. He could have moved his pawn up. I would have taken. He takes with no, wait, he wouldn't take with knight. What am I saying? He moves bishop down. I move my pawn up. This is just like what could have happened. I move his move. He could have threatened my knight. Moved my knight out easily. Could have went down. Wait, no, that's a bad move. What am I saying? He could have done this. No, he couldn't have because my bishop. Yeah, he just would have been screwed. I could have hit him with one of. Oh, dang. Hey, he really couldn't have done anything. Wow. Let's move on. Go down here. I would have taken. Yeah, he would have been screwed. Absolutely. Bam. It was an insane move. Insane. He just gets demolished, I say. Demolished. And resign. He's done.